Hello, everybody! As you probably know, it's me, the Theredmagekro, and welcome back to Danganronpa, where we got a trial ahead of us. Let's get down to business. Because everyone has heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. As soon as we all were there...
Monokuma appears!
No, I can't do two of them! Hello! He's multiplied?
Wrong.
Nope, not multiplication. Just looks that way cause of an illusion. I'm moving so fast, it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? The one behind me. Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy, tough crowd.
You're not playing along!
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you! Okay, fine.
Hey!
And if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train, elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please!
Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins.
What the heck?
I told you already! I didn't do it! For serious! That reminds me. Did you ever find the other costume? Or the note? Well, no, but... How unfortunate. And it would seem we have our culprit.
Hey.
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. Can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive. And for the two that lost their lives. One who killed Hifumi and Taka. One who killed two of our friends. Killer is one of us. Dude, you are...
Just the worst.
Let's hurry up and go so we can make Hero pay for his crimes. Oh, you're here too.
Yes.
Come on, Big Mac, let's do it. What do you got to say? The story begins when we get down there. Poor Hero. It wasn't me. You gotta believe me. It would appear the culprit has been confirmed. The trial will be over in no time. It's never that simple.
Damn.
I don't like Monokuma's carefree attitude. Byakuya is probably gonna be like, don't talk to me, let's go. Yeah, see. Let's go. I took one last deep breath and inhaled slowly. Exhaled. I began to walk towards the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. You know what I actually didn't really think about? This elevator was made to fit this large group of people, right? And if my theory is correct that Junko was not supposed to, like, die, right? If Junko was supposed to be the first killer, then technically there was would only be like one death, right? Which means that, you know, instead of there being 2 people dead, this elevator was made to hold all these people. I wouldn't be able to handle these close proximity, you know, area of this elevator. I think I would be very claustrophobic. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. Oh, and also, this trial, and a little bit of the next chapter, is where we're gonna be, I say we're, I will be in new territory. So, yay! I don't know if I read that. Whoops! Not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. Elevator doors slid open, opening into a cruel fate. Onto a cruel fate. Now I see all of you gathered around like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only 'cause of you? Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What?
What? You really hate me so much? But I'm so cute!
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me. Of course I'm going to start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I never held out on you like that! Okay! Let's begin! Get to your assigned seats. And so, the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial. Let's do it. Now let's go ahead and set some skills because we have some more to work with. Increase bullet capacity. Effective during the bullet time battle. I don't really care about that, I don't think. Completely steadies your aim. Effective I mean, yes, I will take that. That's the only other thing that we really have. Okay, you know what? Time to jump in. Class trial, all rise!
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Oh, this is gonna be so good. I don't have to do a lot of voice acting.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Yeah.
Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't. Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
Poor Hero, already jumping the gun on him.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Genocide Jill, be quiet. You're no one to speak.
Who are you calling a murderer?
Exactly,
I am sorry
Hero!
to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprint for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know. I don't know.
Hero really the killer, or anything else? You have to make that clear. So So we now have to make our argument with Yasuhiro's message.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I need to figure out how to fire.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
There we go.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
Okay, so that didn't really... It's somewhere in
Everything
here.
we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
Ooh, what the hell? What was
I
that?
don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Is that
Hiro,
like a-
why?
No,
There we go.
just hold on a second.
I gotta get a reconfirming with this.
Everything we found in the blueprints, the suit
There we
parts,
go.
No, that's wrong.
Blueprints couldn't be it because Yasuhiro's writing is really neat.
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
Right?
what do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared.
Why are we just flat out saying this in front of
The
Monokuma?
handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Yes.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Definitely.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
Hiro, sell yourself better.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
Thank you, Byakuya!
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course, he passes it off to me.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
Suspicious individual. Who the hell is Hina? It was probably Hiro.
I got it!
It had to
Other
be.
than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
Yes.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
Thank you, Byakuya.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
Yes!
What?
Breach!
Now that's a bold assumption.
Quiet you! I will always say that to Genocide Jill.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
Yes,
We
yes.
must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
They must have been. Well, the tarp was definitely one. There was also the repository dolly. Let's see if he wants us to, like, present more than one.
I got it!
There's still one more thing, which was the blue tarp.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
Yes. What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room.
Yes, you got it. Look at Makoto.
So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there.
Yes.
But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Yeah, huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
I really don't like you in this case,
We
Celeste.
have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. Maybe I can change their mind. Just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. What do you mean a new element has been added? More? Reloading? Add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, under the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statement. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the Y button won't be enough to handle them. Now, it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements no matter how locked on you are. You can reload with the X button. Like locking on, you'll have to press the X button in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that the X button now has a function along with the A and Y buttons. It will automatically reload at the start of fever time. Your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all, in which case you can ignore everything I just said. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, what the hell is this?
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your...
I'm sorry, I am... Lock on is with A. Attack is with Y. Okay.
Away with you. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable
Okay, I
wretch.
can't...
You miserable wretch.
I can't see anything! God. I totally forgot how to play that section.
I refuse to give up yet.
Like, that's just kind of like the problem with, like, being in and out of, like, a game, right? I have to, like, really, like, be into this style of game, or else I forget things, and there are times where I just take, like, a week off because of my voice. So, God, man. Goodness gracious, but, okay, I got it.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere.
Help me.
Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst.
Okay.
I cannot agree.
Go!
This should prove it.
God, man. Okay. I hated that.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here.
Yes.
When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread.
But yeah, no, that one is definitely like, I didn't know I was supposed to lock on with A, then shoot it. Now they added a reload in which you reload a couple of bullets. I'm guessing that like, I probably have a skill that makes me reload one more bullet. Because I'm guessing that it would have only been like one. So it's very possible that you're supposed to like, you have to manage the downtime with the shooting and the targeting and do all that all at once, and ooh boy, that was rough.
The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository.
Poor Makoto, he's all alone.
So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm
sleeping
not
robot.
sure that really matters.
Thank you, Sakura.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
But look at how the body was moved. It'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? More than less likely, the blueprints and the arms. There we go.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
Yes,
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
exactly.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Nope, that wasn't what I needed to attack. Come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that. Makes me think something weird is going on. Okay.
As we know, and from there,
Okay.
Yeah, then loaded it onto the dolly.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Okay,
Well,
that's
yeah.
that's what it was.
But even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Nope.
Then you could push the dolly
No!
across.
So the killer just crouched down and carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit.
Sorry.
I don't think I
Don't
realized
worry, I
it.
get you.
As we know, and from there,
Yeah, then loaded it onto the...
Now,
keep in mind that
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over. Then you could push the dolly.
No, I didn't mean to take that.
So the killer just
Ugh.
carted the body.
if you accept, then you must realize that.
Okay, I forgot that. Like, if you hold it
I don't think I
down,
realized.
then it takes whatever it
as
is.
we know,
Taka was and from there.
Okay.
Yeah, then loaded it onto the...
Now, keep in mind.
Well, yeah, but all you'd have to do is bend over.
But he can't do that because of the freaking waist. It doesn't bend.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
Yes. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me! And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist.
Not at all.
Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance that costume was taken off because you can't take it off by yourself.
I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I don't even know if she was there. I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make that stupid friggin' thing. The clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. Looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. You don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Yes.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
No.
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it.
Exactly.
Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
No.
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
Correct.
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice?
Okay.
If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice. That's what I decided to call him. Just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
I feel like it has to be very, very obvious who's done it at this point. There's not a lot of people, you know, left here. Tell me if you guys have figured it out and when you figured it out. Because I remember, like, when I played the game way back in the day, I knew exactly who it was. Like, not exactly from the get-go, but very close from the get-go. Let me know in the comments down below.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it.
Mm-hmm.
Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility?
Yes.
Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Yes.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
Go away!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
Yes.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi.
Like, you know how weird this has to be? And also, just the simple fact that, like, you know, a robot... Like none of them has watched anime.
We were
Wild.
soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something moved around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense This is not where I was. This was not where I was indeed. What am I doing here? Hold the phone! Okay, well, you know what? Finish the bit. Intense scream for someone. Like, for someone like you. I saw him. The strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
and then...
Yeah! Huh? Well, what was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi! He's in the nurse's office! This is bad, come on! We have to go back!
At that point, we decided to divide up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect.
Yes.
When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the three of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Yes, very good recap, very good recap. Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them, no matter what. Okay. Man, that was just like a big recap. I mean, a lot of things did kind of happen in this one in particular.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the
What is the Monokuma file? Let me see. Gotta press that. Okay, so that's not something that I need to like...
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Okay.
So, regarding Taka's death,
Is there just something that, like, I'm not getting with the Monokuma files? Victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. Well, the cause of death for each was a blow to his head. It is thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon.
I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
Okay, I think I see
We
it.
already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the
Right there. You
It's true
jerk!
that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3,
Okay, what is that?
while Taka's
No!
death came...
See?
Okay,
So it's
there we go.
obvious Taka came.
Hold up, guys. I'm sorry.
I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know Taka came last
What makes you say
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's
I'm
true that
dumb,
Hifumi
a little
was while
bit
Taka's
down
death...
lower. Okay.
So it's obvious Taka
It's
came.
fine, it's fine, we're good.
So I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know Taka came last
what makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
So the numbering has nothing to do with it. Got it.
Shoot. So I wonder if he, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that
Hifumi was while Taka's death?
See?
Monokuma file
So
doesn't
it's
help me
obvious
here, so I gotta
Taka
take the first one, I think.
So,
I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
we already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice.
There we
No,
go.
it's wrong.
Okay. There we go, we did it.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
Yes.
Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves that Taka was killed before Hifumi. There is one. Hangman's Gambit. This is always a good one to go with. Wristwatch. Okay. No, I gotta do it in order, I guess. T, and then H. There we go.
Now I understand.
Okay, okay. Got it.
I got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
Hey! You! How long you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air, pointing at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
Exactly.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
Yes.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
Yes.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window.
Yes.
Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
No, we're not. And I am not repeating this. There's one thing I hate the most, it's repetition.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko.
Those two.
Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Go somewhere else. You don't ever contribute to the conversation. You're just like, yeah, that's it, yeah. And then it's like never the case. Go, sit in the corner and think about why you're here.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how.
Okay.
In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said...
Okay. We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. But then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time. It would seem so.
His body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the 3rd in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
Okay.
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Yeah!
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... ghost!
Come on, Hero. chill out.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
Yes.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive, really possible? It is. We gotta make our argument with the broken wristwatch, which is not what's gonna help us.
Are you saying that
here.
when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
This is probably what we need.
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Nope.
Shoot!
I gotta really think about these at times, because I'm just kind of dumb.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance you...
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body that
Hifumi's dead body had been found, and that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure that maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery?
Yeah.
Are you saying that when we first
found Hifumi and there's a chance he was...
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Nope, that wasn't it either. I'm just really bad at taking tasks.
Shoot!
Okay.
Are you saying that when we first found
Hifumi in the nurse,
there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
Hifumi was dead, and you know that.
Give me a moment, guys. Okay. Okay, so back now. So kind
Hifumi's
of
dead body had been
farther
found,
in.
And that is what.
Are we
I
really so
wonder
sure about
if
that?
I can.
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's
take-
discovery.
Can I put that and take it with me to the other areas?
Are you saying that when we first
I
found
can.
Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, It is impossible.
I gotta take this a little bit slow now.
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
There. Okay.
No, that's wrong.
Man, so it had to be used in reverse order, which is kind
Was
of
the
weird.
body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Like, that took a little bit of, like, thought process there because, like, I just wasn't thinking, I don't think. At least not properly. I kind of go in charging head first when I should really be putting my thinking cap on. And that's kind of my problem, especially, like, when it comes down to, like, taking tests, I'm just not good at it.
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered
I
his body.
overthink. And because I overthink, I usually end up at the wrong conclusion.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Which
Maybe
there was.
Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Yes.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again.
Yes.
If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Exactly. The second body discovery announcement. First time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office and the equipment room. The second time was when both bodies were
I got it!
rediscovered.
We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Ding dong, ding dong. A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin! That's right.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Yes.
And in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet.
No.
Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
Exactly.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
I'm not gonna repeat myself.
That is the worst
I
logic I
hate
have ever
repeating
heard.
myself. I hate her so much. Genocide Jill. I'm actually kind of starting to like Toko a little, but Genocide Jill, get out.
But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. I gotta be very careful with it. Hifumi's glasses.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, His body disappeared.
Okay, that has nothing to do with his
And the
glasses.
next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body
Okay, here we
after
go.
being moved, other than
The change in how it was positioned.
No! Hold the phone. No. No, 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 no. That should have been it. That should have been. No! That is some bullcrap. Monokuma, no. Stop. I mean, then again, it wasn't really. I'm not trying to add to the conversation. I'm trying to find a contradiction. I have to remember that.
I refuse to give up yet.
My God. It can be a little troublesome sometimes. But I gotta remember, I'm not here to add to a conversation. I'm here to, like, look for a contradiction.
His body just.
And the next time it was in.
But when you
So,
compare
like-
his body before.
other
So,
than
like,
the
how
change
it was
in how
positioned.
positioned,
How
there was no notable difference.
There. There you go.
No, that's wrong.
Also, I pressed A on it, and it stopped it for like 5 seconds or something.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Yes.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The evidence we found. The glasses cleaning
I
cloth.
got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right?
Yes.
And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Giggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
Close, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
Yes.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
Yeah,
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is...
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible.
I
wouldn't
like
you
that.
say?
Copious. His copious corpse. I love it.
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere!
Even though that's a very big biohazard.
But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
Exactly.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Yes.
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right?
Yes.
So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
Yes.
But that means he took part in the murders.
Yes.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Go right ahead.
There's more?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
Yes. No.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
No one would have thought to look there if it wasn't for, Kyoko's wild, inspection of bodies.
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
You just said it wasn't!
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro.
Yes.
And that person could only have been...
Taka.
I got it!
Hifumi's pants!
That's right!
Really?
Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection!
On what grounds?
I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right?
If you don't really understand what's going on, then don't object!
So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy! Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right? Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, can't let her get to me. Why do we have to go into a discussion about this? Why can't I just be like, none of these are what I need.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Okay, I think that's what we need.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
No? Maybe it's the opposite way around.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said.
Okay.
What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
Oh,
The
okay.
time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
This is the contradiction. Had nothing to do with TikTok, but it said that it was on 6 a.m.
Huffy had the note, right?
So, we gotta
Then the
speed
person it
up.
was must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said.
What time did it say to
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter!
Oh, wait.
The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
Oh, wait.
Huffy had the note, right?
Wait, what are the...
Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy.
Okay, so broken
But
wrist
remember
watch.
what the note said.
I'm trying to add.
What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m.
Okay, yeah, so this is actually
The time
what we
doesn't
need.
matter.
I'm just overthinking about it again.
The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
It has everything to do with
wrong.
TikTok. I do my default dance, you know?
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
Everything! Don't talk like the chicken!
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet.
Uh-huh.
The equipment room, right?
Right.
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note.
Exactly.
I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Oh, yeah,
Someone
okay.
used that note to trick Taka, just the same as me.
Yes.
The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster, telling people they found a way out.
I know, it's very
But
mean.
if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Yeah.
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
See, Hakuya, you repeat yourself way too much in this one. I hate it, but I also love it.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper.
Yes.
If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Exactly the
Hifumi
same.
had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap.
Exactly.
Did I get all that right?
Yes, you did, Sakura. You're the best character. I love you so much. If anything ever happened to Sakura, I would immediately kill 2 people in this game and get off scot-free. But that's never gonna happen because Sakura is way too strong.
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all
Me and
this,
Hiro on the same
Hifumi was
page, I
super
guess.
involved in this whole thing for sure.
Yes, he was.
In fact,
Okay.
he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
Hiro.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
Exactly.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Absolutely
Wait,
none, except
but me
for
and Sakura were
Aoi,
together.
aka Hina, and Sakura.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Who are you calling a walrus?
Why would you call her a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all.
That is actually the single smartest thing that's actually has come out of your entire mouth, I think.
But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
Oh my god. He's starting to believe.
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it.
I also like that Toko's, like, body was all prickly.
Wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Yeah, Byakuya is with me on this page.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
For as smooth as it is, you have a wrinkle or two.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
Weapon that was actually... The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow, I have to find the truth. In which we got one singular bullet. A spotless hammer.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
No, okay, that sounded like it should have been like a... No, I guess that would have, like, not necessarily a contradiction, more like trying to add to the conversation.
MurderGear.com/hammertime for more info.
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
That's a contradiction.
No, that's wrong.
There we go. I have to get that into my big brain.
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No. It was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Yeah.
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean. And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder.
Exactly.
If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
Yes.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Yes.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder.
Which is why somebody else murdered
So the
him.
idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We talked about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but... Oh, okay, we're just going into another thing. We don't have any evidence on that. So I'm guessing that it's
Based on the
going to be
rules that have been laid out
something
for
that I have
us,
to take.
even if more than one person is
We're
complicit
going to try
in
to
the
be
murder,
very perceptive.
only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Okay, I think we gotta get the
Based on
two
the rule,
murders
even
and
if more
say
than one, only the one
impossible.
who actually, assuming the rule holds true.
That is how the...
But that only really applies. In this case, however, there were two murders.
They used two murders and impossible.
Based on the rules that have been laid out, even if more than one person is complicit, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming
The rule holds true.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Alright. Trying to use my big brain.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
Uh-huh.
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Exactly.
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme.
Here we go. So Makoto said risk versus reward benefit? The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme.
There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
Yes, that is actually really
So
smart.
in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look.
Yes.
A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
In fact, it was two!
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice.
Yes.
Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
Exactly.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
Because they had to adapt.
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Yoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning. Which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Yoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's only one person who seems to fit it. Wow! I mean, I feel like there's still not a lot. Like, okay, it's obvious, but like, if we're going straight off of like all the evidence that we've kind of seen, selecting someone now seems kind of, you know, risky, but...
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
What?
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
Yes.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Yes, you're the only one who would technically do it, I
The
feel.
idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Okay,
Just
okay.
to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Yes.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Uh-huh. Encountering the suspicious individual.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Exactly.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Oh, Hina, I'm sorry.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow. Something moving around the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Exactly.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab,
And Byakuya definitely has this under wraps.
it was time for her partner to get to work.
So the blood-curdling scream was Hifumi's cue to basically do the things that he basically do. Yes. Yes!
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Yes. And why don't we split up into two groups? I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well. Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I'll leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing.
What is it,
When we
Makoto?
found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
I certainly was not expecting this. Did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Yes, Hina, I'm sorry. There are some messed up people in the world.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
This is definitely a Phoenix and freaking Miles Edgeworth working together. I kind of like it. As much as I don't like Byakuya, I kind of love this duo interaction.
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
You just admitted it.
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die, just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
She didn't know about the second body.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
Hero, quit your day job, get a better one, but also don't involve yourself in this, sweet baby boy.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make any sense. What is he alluding to? Okay, we got Monokuma 5 again.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this.
Oh, God, okay.
Enjoying the sight of us standing around. They must be.
We are all going to die here.
All is a
We are
red
going
herring.
to die, just like those guys died.
That's what we have to hit.
And that is all I said.
But
And that's all it takes to finish this.
I can't think like this. Hold up, guys. This is why I don't drink a lot of water. right?
All I
It's
said
because I need to go to the bathroom more
They
often,
must really be
especially during the
enjoying
recording.
this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around.
They must be.
We are all going to die here. We are going to die. Just like those guys.
So strange indeed,
No, it's
Celeste.
wrong.
There we go.
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died.
Like, it's so strange. Yes, it's so strange that she said that. But, like, also it could have been, like, you know, the way that my brain was thinking, wait, do I use the Monokuma File 3 here because she didn't know that it was those guys? But the Monokuma File technically only refers to the way that they were killed. Not how strange it is that she knew that both of them were killed. Didn't know how they died, so it couldn't have been the Monokuma File. You have a lot to think about when you're on the toilet, guys. So it had to have been the final comment, so strange, to those guys. That's how I kind of came up
When
to
she
it,
said that,
or down to it.
none of us had told her Taka was
Up,
dead.
down, left, right.
Exactly.
Every single way.
And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
Yes.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys?
Right.
Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
Guys is a gender-neutral term, Makoto. You can't really use that logic. Oh, I don't like that laugh.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
Imagination.
You
yeah.
claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right?
Yeah.
So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
No, couldn't have
Have
been.
you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away.
Okay, but you took a picture of it. Why would he give you that much time?
If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations? It wasn't a picture of the suspect driving Hifumi away. The only other possibility is Hifumi is dragging the suspect away.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around.
Yes,
And the
Kyoko.
strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther.
I also kind of like, in these later ones, that Kyoko and Byakuya are helping out a lot more. It's very nice.
If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Yes.
Such a thing is utterly impossible.
How so?
Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Yeah, I don't think so
Then
either.
shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Les thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible? Pretty sure it has to do with, like, Robo Justice's blueprints.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out!
Oh, didn't mean that. Thank God that doesn't work. So, like, if we take a look at the way Robo Justice basically arms Ben, but if we also take a look at the Robo Justice costume, in addition, see their feet, no, blueprints, the arms Ben, but they don't look anything like it. And Yasuhiro's meet in the dining hall. So if they were meeting in the dining hall, why would they be up there?
Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Really? I mean, well, maybe it's not the blueprints, but,
You dressed me up in that
the
suit after I
costume
got...
itself.
Then you just draped. You tried to make me look.
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, if the person in
There's no way they could stand up straight.
Because
No, that's wrong.
he can't bend. So therefore, bada bing, bada boom. I just had the
No.
wrong one selected.
Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Yes. You totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
Yes.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
So that he could stand upright even when unconscious.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Yeah. That face stuff.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Jeez, man.
Celeste? Clearly! You want to cram me into your little guilty box? Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Hey, Hifumi, who did it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Jeez, man.
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Listen here, Taro.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
Thank you,
He
Sakura.
did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Jeez,
Kyoto,
man.
what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
He said people's last names?
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example.
Yes.
So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
Exactly.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name.
Indecent?
Get out of here!
Don't talk.
Thank you!
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
Yeah.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit!
I mean, technically, you would spit as you laugh.
Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you?
Stares at her and looks at Hiro. I put my hand on Hiro's shoulder and be like, I'm sorry, man. You're so mean. And I hug him. I hug him as he cries into my shoulder. I put my fingers up to my eyes and I point them at her.
Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine. Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste won't give up. So then, I have to do something to make her accept it. Oh dear God. Make your argument. An e-handbook will come into play in all of this.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name.
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is...
Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
Dang, upside down too?
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
How about this?
No,
Bang!
it's wrong.
There is always a way to contradict someone who is lying.
That's it. The handbook.
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
Yes, yes he did. This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it'll display your name. Always make sure to have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so much more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything.
Exactly.
That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
You only make yourself look guiltier.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
He's so nice about it.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because...
Jeez, man, my
Until the
poor
game's
ears.
over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes.
Yeah.
And that'll bring everything to an end.
Everything! The closing argument now begins. Okay, so... God, man. I hate this. I hate this so much. Why are you here? Why are you here? Oh my goodness. Okay, so... What is going on and how do I enact this? Okay, so that one definitely has to be roughly the time that he comes in. He's probably like that, and he's like, oh my god. When he tries to, do stuff, but she takes a picture. That's a little bit before 6. It's angled weirdly, too. So it's a bit awkward. I'd say probably that. Unless there's Justice Hammer. Yeah, there's Justice Hammer 4. And that one has to be bloody. I go in and... Justice Hammer 2. That, and then... Let's see, Justice Hammer 3 was put there. I like how everyone just looks. I love it. Although Sakura's not really phased, it's great. Probably that? No, this. He has to like show that he's pushing it. Thinking he did a good job. She gets the hammer. And she beats him bloody. It's just a matter of what the hell the first one is all about. The first one is backpack, or 2, this, which it probably is this because he's sweating. Let's go ahead and see exactly if that's how it goes now.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
Okay.
Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Exactly 1 o'clock comes around. Tick-tock, tick-tock.
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning.
What if Yasuhiro just basically never came? And, like, honestly.
That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when...
Oh no!
They drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit.
I skipped that. I'm sorry, guys.
Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him. While the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
Man, that murderous look on Hifumi.
And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these two incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds.
Why didn't it, like, bing bong?
That the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But
oh, that one was weird.
while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood
like a
packet from the
magical girl
refrigerator and
transformation.
Justice
I love
Hammer
it.
3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found.
I just love how one scene, freaking, like, fear across their face. The other side,
Meanwhile, the other group that had
serious,
been out
with only
searching
one who's like,
found
oh my
Taka's
god.
body at the same time.
I love it.
So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation.
Yes.
He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office, and once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository.
And mind you, he had to do all this fast as well. That definitely put like a strain on his
That
body.
explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Celeste. Why is it so shoujo? What the hell? Shoujo? Am I right with that one? Maybe? I don't know.
Celeste!
Yeah, shoujo.
Sorry, you lose.
Shonen is about guys.
lost?
Shonen's about girls. Typically a lot of flowers and the like.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words?
Like, the only time that you ever really see flowers in a shonen, I feel, is when, like, a guy is, like, trying to act, like, all handsome and cool. I could be wrong about that, but you guys can definitely let me know in the comments down below.
They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Oh, she told us her name, Taiko.
Taiko?
Taiko.
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
You lost a long time ago. You dragged it on quite a bit.
Interesting.
I mean, we still got an A rank somehow.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Jeez, man. But it's time to find out. I mean, we already know, but still. There could be that one person, you know, like Taka.
What?
It's basically a formality at this point. But once again, you're totally correct. The Blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was...
Ta-da!
Celestia Lunenberg! Or more precisely, Keiko Yasuhiro!
Honestly,
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Ifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Ifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then,
Then did you use, you know. I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Ifumi to act as my accomplice,
indeed.
I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Ifumi and Taka were both super into. What does she mean? Talking about alter ego. I mean, Makoto basically threw the name out, like, at the beginning, so I don't know why he's, like... I don't know why no one, like, freaked out about it.
Say what?
What? What? What are you talking about?
just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop. As usual. How sad.
In other words,
Then you're the one that stole it?
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you. Alone. About what was stolen. I know who did it.
What?
are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it.
Yeah!
What?
So
And I
then,
have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I showed it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him! But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
What?
as for me,
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh,
He did?
as for me,
He came to my room last night unannounced. Then, it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
what?
I love Hifumi. And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice. See, that would have been an obvious red herring. Well, I guess, like, if he took pictures of her stealing it, that would have been incriminating, but with, like, all the other people who were, like, super good at investigating, we would have figured out that to be a lie.
Damnation!
That's a crime! An absolute crime! I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but...
Say what?
I never imagined he would go that far! It was the last time I could do that voice. I'm so sad. I had to. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life.
Completely
I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fudging kill him.
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please. You go now. You'll be playing right into his hands.
Actually,
Aka's planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean... Aka is going to try to kill you. Exactly, I could not have put it better myself. And also he can keep her to himself.
This is
That's
unforgivable! Completely unforgivable!
Punk!
honestly,
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not! How could I? She...
I swear, I will save her!
I have to save her!
actually,
Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. Huh? I've devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love. Even a love as twisted as that can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body in size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So, why'd you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid.
Huh?
That's it!
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that? Assuming you had actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that. Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward. Stereotypical, even. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death. But wait, what would actually happen if somebody killed someone, but another person killed someone? Do we have a rule on that? Am I just forgetting? I could possibly be forgetting. We could also look that up too.
So in the end...
So, you had planned to kill him all along. But of course, there would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human love mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
You sound like Byakuya!
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money?
Hmm.
Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, our only thought has been to escape.
But...
But all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little bitch!
Obviously, that was a lie! Ah!
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little
I
bitch!
wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And wanna know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. Castle? Oh my. Is that Byakuya? Kissing her foot? Honestly? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers/bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I attained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end. Why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing. She's a sociopath.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. Not just other people, I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette. Then let you eat cake.
Hey,
You'd just get executed again. Celeste smiled then. When she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself been her final lie. And that weak, fake smile, what betrayed her.
Thrills! Chills!
You all done?
thrills!
Okay then, let's get rolling! one! The Blackened disturb the peace and must pay the price.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
The ultimate gambler!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I
It's
guess
funny.
I'll let Kyoko hold on to this.
It's funny how, like, there are times where I'm like, you know, yes, take over, take the wheel, voice actors. And there are times where I'm just like, let me voice act, please.
What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
In another game. A spin-off game. About the girls of Danganronpa. I don't know if there's any boys in that game. And now to see her, like, get dragged off. I don't actually remember her death scene. I remember the first two, but I don't remember this. Oh, hey, a European castle. Is she being burned? She's being burned. Yeah. The burning of the Vericilis Witch. I see. It's just that this right here is underwhelming compared to the first two. He's just burning her in a European style. I mean, can you really say European if the witch hunt was, like, done in America? But the people from America are technically from that area. So I guess it's kind of European. Is it? Someone in the comments will let me know, hopefully. And then she's hit by a truck? Jesus. Yeah, but I feel like that was the weakest death one so far. Like, Mondo and definitely Leon had better deaths overall. It's over. Third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friends. I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. For him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free from their regrets from the outside world. And more importantly, more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do you care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
How strange.
God! I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already! So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key type thing from Celeste?
Hey! Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
You.
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh. How exciting.
Oh man, oh jeez. Oh man, oh jeez. What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. Are you a robot, Kyoko? Is Kyoko a robot who has been placed in this? And she basically has like the knowledge of like detectiving and whatnot? Like, is that Kyoko's entire thing? What was that just now? Mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well?
Meanwhile, you guys can just go on enjoying your school life. You get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I do anything about it, of course.
See ya later!
See you! Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although, it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. Hey, Kyoko. Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you?
so...
Most likely, key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
What? Then that means... Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. Left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey,
I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
so...
You even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know. And I'll go too.
What?
You? Please let me go. Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
well then.
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? Huh? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. I tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah.
So then...
Need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. And as the locker swung open, we saw...
You really came.
Good morning! It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe. Thank goodness. I'd never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time.
So,
Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow? I'm doing my best, but please wait just a little while longer. So, we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but can we take a second? since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school? Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However...
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? This makes me even more worried.
What?
Worried? Like, what happened during the investigation this time? You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. You do that.
Indeed.
It's only natural that they think that I'm the mastermind spy, right? You too. No! I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me? Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then...
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing, and where I've been going. See? What I heard from Kyoko then was... Well, frankly, kind of blew my mind. And after I told Kyoko I believed her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes. I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, went into action.
Correct.
Boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back, head in the way back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but Kyoko really be right about that? Over here. There's a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. Secret Kyoko told me about. Could it really be hidden here? It looks like there's a door here. Said it was in the way back of the storage closet. But, I mean, seriously? Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet. Suddenly, as if I were being yanked in, it turns. Shunk! Same time I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. No idea what was going on. Boom boom. I'd fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? Turned out, the back wall was like a revolving door, and I'd made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko has said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the second floor, there's a storage closet. The way back of that closet, there's a secret room. This is the secret room. But what's in here? Someone's been using it. Normal desk with normal drawers. Then books. There's a bunch of files, and it looks like volume after volume of yearbooks. All covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Hope Peaks Academy Student Registry? It's the only thing in here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? Slipped the file into my hand. Before I had a chance to take a look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file. Turned my attention to it. What's this? Must not leave? That's kind of weird. I would understand if it said, like, I can't leave. Like, you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. This strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words. You must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before. But I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? Oh, God! A strange sound rang out through my head. Felt like I was shaking my brain back and forth. And then... darkness. Don't understand what's happening. Don't know what started it. All over. That, I opened my eyes. Didn't know how long it'd been. Ugh. Ow! Apparently something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull throbbing pain in my head proved that much at least. Empty bookshelf. Huh? Empty? Gone. It's all gone! The yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that had fallen on the floor. All gone. What does this mean? My brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head had begun to spread across the rest of my body. But for now, I should go back to my room. Get some rest. My body was heavy with pain. My mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back towards my room. Somehow I made it back to the first floor of the school. Yeah. The farther I walked, the more I felt. Things are getting blurry. Can't see in front of me. Couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. After that... As if from a vast distance, I heard a sound. It was faint, but undeniable. That sound... it's coming from the gym? As I desperately hauled my shaky frame towards the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. Dra-dyak! Kagunk! Bagya! What's going on? It can't be nothing. Here in the gym? What's going on? Didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. Sounds coming from inside? Meanwhile, only intensified that much more. Kacha! Buck you! Agaya! Yeah! Paching! Bakaya! Da-da-da-dun! Sha-sha-sha-sha-sha! It's so stupid, I love it. Before me, there raged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. No. One side's not human, that's for sure, but regardless, I couldn't stop staring. Forgot to move, or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this?
What is the meaning of
How
this?
dare you defy me?
She also was...
This wasn't part of the deal!
Deal.
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
Oh. What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Could it be? The mastermind spy is... Oh no. No! No! There's only 7 surviving students left. To be continued. Yeah! Alright, and that's where we're going to end it. So thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. This has gone on for about 2 hours and 30 minutes. And we got stream in like an hour. I was kind of hoping and praying that this wasn't going to take this long. I'm probably going to have to cut this in half. Oh, that's unfortunate. But either way, I hope you all enjoyed it. And hey, you know, go ahead and let me know. Out of the people who are dead and the people who are alive right now in the story, who's your favorite person who's dead? Who's your favorite person who was alive? Ain't no one gonna say Leon unless they know anything about this game. I don't know anything about this game, but there's a picture of Leon, and there has to be some truth to that. Either way, there's probably lore about him later. So thank you all so very much, and I will see you all in the next part of our school life. Bye-bye. Kaka. And this is also where it ends for my knowledge on this game, too. Mind you, I absolutely don't know anything past this point, so it is going to be a trip. Bye.